Boy Joel Ortiz, and I want y'all to keep it locked right here because y'all watching the real Gully TV. It's official. This ain't no phony business right here. This is Gully TV. You keep it right here. Yow.
Hey yo, it's TCPWTK the Fly. You now tuning in right now to Gully TV.
Peace. This is your boy Noize the Flood. Right now, I'm rocking with Gully TV.
Hey yo, it's Rob like Get Rob, man. Look, it's the Claw. I'm rocking with Gully TV.
What it is SKYCOO Skyzoo, live up the borough, and you are now watching.
You niggas better pay attention.
Gully TV.
Or get found somewhere.
When you watching Gully TV, I have a very special guest down here in the Dirty South. He needs no introduction, but I'll have him introduce himself. Homie.
Yo, it's the one and only Sleepy Brown. One half of Organized Noize. First generation Dungeon family. The beginning, the middle, and the end.
Give me some history on the name. How do you come up with the name Sleepy Brown?
It was kind of like a couple of things, to tell you the truth. One was the story that I was a big fan of Big Daddy Kane, and I always thought he looked super cool. So, in a weird way, I came up with Sleepy from that. Then, of course, at one time, I lost my glasses at the dungeon, and my eyes were damn near closed because I couldn't see shit. Smoking a lot is another thing, so it's kind of everything, the nickname came from just, trying to be the coolest.
No doubt. You know what I thought was as dynamic for you as the actual sound, your image. Who came up with your image? I looked at, prior to coming here, I looked at some of the videos from back in the day, and you was really putting that vintage shit on from back in the day.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Did you have a stylist, or you just was coming?
Well, yeah, I definitely had a stylist team, Renee and Jolene, the sisters. They definitely had me fresh, but it was mainly the style that I'm doing. Basically, is the '70s crooners. So I always wanted to kind of bring back, because that style of male artist then was very manly.
Okay.
Super manly, super in your face, just straight black. You know what I mean? It was just sexy, and everything about it was just strong. So I always try to do that. So this kind of what it happened.
Early on, was there a stereotype in regards to drawing inspiration from someone from the old school?
Man, it was Marvin, Barry White, Curtis Mayfield, Isaac Hayes, of course. Every crooner from the '70s, basically, or every basically style, because that's kind of how we shot Kane Wade. Kane Wade ended up being, to me, like a blaxploitation of his time. You know what I mean? Like a new kind of whole thing of being sexy, kind of thieves, Ocean 11 kind of guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? So all my inspirations come from the '70s. I grew up, as a kid growing up, and, growing up backstage with my dad and seeing everybody. Definitely stayed with me.
Music, of course, is in your pedigree. Your father was a performer.
Mm-hmm.
What was the name of the group in the song that he was particularly known for?
My dad, Jimmy Brown, in a band called Brick in the '70s that had multiple hits, man. First really big hit for them was Daz, which people might know that Cube sampled it for No Vaseline. They had songs sampled everywhere. Put It In Your Mouth was a sample from Brick. Kid and Play, Daddy Dang, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I grew up, when I was like 6 or 7, like, you know what I'm saying? I went to my really first concert, and it was my dad, and I'm seeing him rocking the shit out of his place, and I'm like, holy shit, like, what? You know what I mean? So, for me, that was just such a big inspiration. I knew what I wanted to do. From that day forward, I knew I wanted to do music. I wanted to be just like him.
So Kid and Play song, Ain't Gonna Hurt Nobody, that was a sample from your father's record?
Yep, the hook too. Ain't gonna hurt nobody, the whole thing.
So what was you at when the movie came out?
When House Party?
Yeah.
Oh, I was when did that come out?
Probably like mid-'80s, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, I I used to love when certain artists would like sample my dad and them. Like my favorite one, still to this day, No Vaseline. Q killed that shit. So that's my favorite one of all time. But I used to love to hear when Danny Dane used it. Everybody used it. It was just I felt like.
So your knowledge of music had you where you was understanding what a sample was at a young age.
But not at first, Ray from Organized Noize really taught me, and this is the truth, because when I first started producing, I was more of a R&B kind of, just musical, very musical producer. And when I met Ray used to have a bag, an old man bag full of like samples of stuff that he picked up off tapes and James Brown. He really introduced me to the whole James Brown sample. You know what I mean? Because I didn't know. I thought, most of the groups were kind of doing it because I just didn't know. But yeah, he taught me the whole sample craze. You know what I mean? So once I learned that, that's when I started really appreciating, when they would sample my dad now.
No doubt. The way that I received you, you was kind of like the Nate Dogg of the South.
I've been called it a lot, yeah.
Nate Dogg of the South. Was it your intention to keep your sound and the projects that you worked on centralized down here in the South? Because I know that I looked at a bunch of records. I think Pharrell was probably someone who wasn't from around here, but basically you put all your work in right here.
Yeah, because Organized Noize, man, we was such a close clique, man. Like when we first started working, we wouldn't let nobody in. So, everything was in-house, you know what I mean? So that sound just kind of, I wanted to keep the sound that I put on it. I wanted to make that the sound of Outkast, the sound of Atlanta. So I always, kept it in around,
So you didn't want that dope sold nowhere else?
No, I didn't want to sell dope nowhere. I wanted to sell it right in the A, because they bought it all, you know what I mean?
Right.
We had top shit, so. Plus, our whole thing, man, was when we first doing Outkast's first album, we listened to Chronic, we listened to everybody, you know what I'm saying? Because we felt like, all right, well, if we come into this game, these are our heroes, but man, we gotta be right there with them. We gotta come in the door when they turn around and look at us. So we wanted to make sure Atlanta had not just a look, but a sound. We had Jermaine, we had Dallas, and they definitely represented Atlanta, but at the same time, Jermaine was kind of doing New York sound and LA sounds, you know what I'm saying? So for us, we wanted to, be able to call out our spots, because I remember going to a concert and seeing DJ Quick. And DJ Quick had everybody screaming Compton. And I was sitting there like, wow, that's amazing, you know what I'm saying? Everybody had Compton, you know what I'm saying? So I wanted to do that, you know what I mean? So, that was our main focus, to be like, all right, so we're going to let them know we're not to go with them now. We're going to let them know where we are from, East Point, College Park. We're going to let them know being here. We're going to, you know what I'm saying? To give you a picture, a movie that goes with the music.
And your prime, right, when we started to actually see you in magazines and in videos and stuff like that, did you actually have to shut the door on people who pursued you musically to work on their projects?
I never shut down anything. It was more of like my management team that would do that, that I had at the time. They, because, for me, I wanted to work with everybody. You know what I mean? It's certain stuff that I wouldn't do because, I'm a weirdo, bro, that Aquarius thing, and musically we are weird, you know what I mean? So sometimes it might be the right song, but we just don't hear it. So, I've always, it might have been a couple times where I had to be like, nah, I can't do that, or, something else was going on at the time and I couldn't get to it, something like that.
Did they understand it? Did they understand your reasoning behind, I can't touch that project? Did they understand it?
Probably not. I probably got called everything on the sun, but, that's what it is,
Right.
I don't want to give you nothing that I don't feel like it's going to be that thing, That's the thing with Outkast. We made sure that whatever we did is going to be fun,
What was the first reputable record that you were on?
Reputable record?
Yeah. What was the first high one?
Well,
When I say high, I mean I went and did my research. You had a lot of songs that was on BET. You was on songs that was on BET and shit like that.
Yeah.
Which one of those was your first?
Well, first was with Cass. When everybody started recognizing who I was, and they started putting the name with the face, was So Fresh So Clean. Because that was the first time I really stepped out and was like in front of the camera. Everything else was just on the album, you know what I mean? First Outkast album. Because Play the Ball was actually the first repeat, you know what I mean? They were playing that, but when everybody started knowing me or seeing me, that was basically So
You were
Fresh.
singing the hook on Play the Ball?
Yeah. All the players. Yeah. That was the first one. That was the first one. The funny thing is we were in the studio and Rico, the song was playing, and we used to love this break because we wanted to sample it, and then we used to say it was Play the Ball. It was like outside all the hustlers were there. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So Rick just went in there and started saying it, and when he said it, it just clicked. I'm like, all the players came. That's it. Because we wanted to keep it on a Curtis Mayfield vibe.
I was about to say that. I thought that was like a sample from Curtis Mayfield or Donny Hathaway or somebody like that. You really went and captured that sound from back there. It was like a time capsule.
What was crazy is after that, I remember we did 2 songs on Curtis Mayfield album before he passed. So I got a chance to work with him.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
And when we were in the studio, I was nervous because I didn't know if he heard Play the Ball yet. So we sitting in there, and they bring him in, and the first thing he said was like, Sleepy, like, I really like what you're doing. I really like that Play the Ball, and I was blown away. Like, whoa, Curtis Mayfield just gave me the green light, so that was awesome, you know what I mean? So with that song, we wanted to capture that feeling of, you know, a Play the Ball, a 70s feel,
right?
But with that today thing on it.
Did you ever go like play with old Curtis Mayfield songs in your private time just to see if you could blow them?
Yeah, I've done a couple of other songs with Curtis. Well, not with Curtis, but with Curtis Mayfield sample. Like one of the songs that we did for Outkast was, which was a Curtis record that he produced on the 5 steps or something like that. But it was 2 Dope Boys. Ooh, ooh. That was a Curtis sound.
Wow.
Yeah, that was Curtis. So, and then, you know, Curtis loved it so much that it was really kind of easy to clear shit with him.
Right.
I mean, you know, go ahead, you know, because we basically at one time, when he had his studio, we basically moved in and made his, took the offices over and kind of made it our first little organized Noize office. So we got great history with Curtis. We love him.
Damn. Take me back to the making of the So Fresh and So Clean music video. Was that your first encounter with the pimps, famous players, and all of that?
With who not with?
With the pimp, with the famous players and shit.
Oh no, I've been but you know that video was that was a lot of fun because you know I was excited because I was gonna finally kind of you know step up and be in the video and you know everybody see who's singing it. So. That was really cool. What's funny about this song, man, when we did the very first BET Awards in Las Vegas, the first one, and we closed it out with So Fresh So Clean. We had all the pimps with us. We had Magic Don one. We had everybody. We had all of them, bro. He was on stage with us and we did the song. I'll never forget that. It was funny. It was the first BET Awards, the very first one in Las Vegas. It was crazy.
What would you say is your signature record?
The Way You Move.
The Way You Move.
My favorite record I produced though is on Joy. It's a song called Lick. Still one of my favorite songs. That song is so fucking nasty and dirty. It sounds like a bass and some syrup, bro. I don't know what the fuck I was on that day.
Did you do
that motherfucker turned out right?
Did you do the writing? Most of the lyrics that you did whenever you were singing, did you do the actual writing?
Yeah, the story about the way you move. I was at Big Boy House at a little cookout he was having, and I was up in the boom boom room, and that's when he used to have a CD changer that would hold like 200 CDs. So it was just playing. Right. So I'm sitting in there, and then all of a sudden, that beat came on, but it was just the skeleton of it, so it wasn't a full beat. And I kept hearing it, and then all of a sudden I just heard the hook. I like the way you move. And I ran down the beat, and I was like, bro, don't know what that song you playing right now. I said, bro, that motherfucker, I got a hook for it. That's crazy. And he was like, he listened, he was like, yeah, let's call him up. And it ended up being a producer that I kind of took under my wing when he was younger, call him up. Yeah, it turned out right, man. We we went in that night and laid the hook, and then everything, you know, it just kind of jumped out. It's like Rico wrote the lyrics to So Fresh So Clean. I gave him the melody, but he more because I love how Rico's a wordsmith. He you know, get the gab. So I knew he would come up with something fly.
So Organized Noize is a production team.
Yeah, it's Rico Wade, Ray Murray, and myself.
So your skill set, the singing, the harmonizing, that all come from having a producer's ear?
Yeah, and you know, getting it from my dad, man. Like my dad played by ear, taught himself how to play horns, and you know, I'm kind of the same way. I just learned everything. Just, you know, my grandmother, his mother,
right,
taught me how to play organ when I was little.
Did your dad get a chance to hear you a Sleepy Brown?
Oh yeah, my dad's super proud. Oh yeah, he brag about me all the time.
Well, that's what's up.
Yeah,
that's what's up. The new generation of Atlanta rappers. What's your relationship like with some of the new guys?
Haven't really met a lot of new guys. I haven't met Lil Baby. Haven't really met anybody. But you know, as far as like, you know, respect wise, you know, I know it's there, and I have respect for them. Any artist coming out of Atlanta, I love it because, you know, it's still moving, and you know, that's a beautiful thing because that's all we ever wanted for Atlanta. We wanted Atlanta to have a voice and stand up, and you know, you got to come to Atlanta to break a record. You know what I mean? So I love the fact, man, that you know, all these young cats out here. You know what I'm saying? My favorite though is Thug. I love, you know, Thug. I think he's sort of a genius what he's doing, man. He's killing it.
Word. Tell me what you think about the Versuz competition.
Oh, who the Outkast?
Just
the whole thing?
Concept of it, because I'm hearing y'all name a lot.
Oh yeah, I heard that too. They want to do a Dodgers Family against Wu-Tang. I'll tell you the funny story too. We actually were supposed to do an album together.
With the Wu?
It was going to be, what are we going to name it? Is it going to be North versus South or something like that? But the way we were going to do it was Organized Noize was going to produce Wu-Tang, and RZA was going to do Dutch Family.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So we were going to really just flip it, and you know, but it never really happened or took off or anything. So to hear the verses, man, I mean, I'm gonna say this. I would love to do it, but only if 3,000 gonna be there.
Right.
I don't want to do it without him, cause then it's authentic. It's there, cause they all gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? Me and Big just did a show with them in Denver at Red Rock. They did they had a symphony. It was so cold. They had a symphony with I think they bought the rights to the Wu-Tang movie, the old Kung Fu movie.
Right.
So they did a live score.
Okay.
They did a live score. So they had the orchestra back there, they played the movie, and then they come in with their songs, you know what I'm saying? So we were, you know, I've seen all of them. They were all there. So I'm with it, but only if 3 would be there. That's the only way. I think it would just be incredible.
Why is it a question on whether or not he'll participate? Is he introverted?
3 don't really want to, you know, which I understand, 3 don't want to perform no more, man. He's on a whole other thing. I mean, understand, he loves hip hop. He definitely still writing. He'll do verses and stuff, but he ain't with that. You know what I'm saying? Like we worked Dre. They was him and Big were like 17. You know what I'm saying? So he been working, and then you know over time, man, you've done so much and you've been everywhere. Like you know, that man just he's just on the whole other thing. I love him. I don't give a fuck. He ain't never got a rap for me. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. You know what I'm saying? That's my boy. So it's whatever he want to do.
The early albums, y'all did all the production yourself, Organized Noize?
Yeah, we did some playlistic, we did that, and then when it came to, then we did Goody Mob, Society Soul, then when it came to Outkast's next album, that's when Big and Drake started getting into production themselves. So we would produce it with them, you know what I mean?
Right.
They'll bring us a track, then we'll add stuff, finish it, do like this, and then Aqueminize when they really kind of stepped out to becoming full producers, you know what I mean? So, you know, we definitely produced a lot of the first albums on everybody.
You had some input on Ain't No Thing But a Chicken Wing.
Really, that was big, man. Big, came up with that hook. We were, me and him had just walked into the studio, and Ray played that beat, and we all went nuts. And
yeah, that's the
Big
shit.
was just like, ain't no thing but chicken wing. It was just, oh, woo! I did it with him, you know what I mean? But I'm not gonna take credit. That's all Big.
No doubt. God damn, man. 2021, you still actively producing?
Mm-hmm. We last little hit we had, man, was with Janelle Monáe. I like that. We did that song. We've done songs with Aria Lennox. We got songs on who else? We work with a lot of people, bro. So we got beats coming out. New music and everything. We still working.
Y'all always had an R&B situation going. Y'all always was pushing R&B records too.
Not at first. I mean, we started out like that as a production team, but you know, Outkast took off first, so all of the R&B that we used to do didn't really come out until like Society of Soul and TLC did some stuff for them and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but you know, it's funny. I was just talking to Ray the other day, and I was like, yeah, man, we're doing a lot of R&B. We need to go holler at some of these young boys and get some beats on them. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's our next move. You know.
How can somebody approach you when you work with a guy that you encounter on social media and shit like that?
I gotta hear stuff, man. And, you know what I'm saying? I have to see, you know, if you really working. Like, you know what I'm saying? How many followers you got? Let me hear some Spotify. Let me hear what you're doing. Let me hear some SoundCloud stuff. Let me hear what you're doing. And let me make that decision, you know. So I just can't say, excuse me, when somebody hit me,
right,
in a DM, like, I want to work with you. I just can't be like, okay, cool, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, you know what I mean? It's got to be special. So, you just got to lay the plan out for me. Let me see what you're doing, what you're doing, what you're gonna do, what's this, and what, you know. Let me see what you're doing, and then I'll make a decision.
When Outkast was in their prime, it was about being a player and being fly down here in Atlanta. As of late, it's dangerous down here. What you think about the transition? Do you think that came with the style of music that started being produced?
I can't say if it's just, you know, if it's just the music. It's everything, man. It's just the environment. Everything just kind of changed, you know. The new generation had a whole nother, you know, thought, you know, way he want to do things. So, you know, things change, man. You know, it'll get worse before it get better. But, you know, I can't say, you know, gangster music made everybody in Atlanta get gangster. I can't, because that's bullshit, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I know music can definitely change your mood. Music is like, you can get in your car and listen to some gospel and be all happy, and the next thing you know, some twerk record come on and you get nasty twerking while you driving, and the next thing you know, there's another record make you mad because it's, you know, about heartbreak, so now you're pissed off, and you know what I'm saying, but it ain't gonna make you really go and react on it, you know what I'm saying? It'll put you in a certain mood, but you're not gonna go and just go nuts, you know? So
How do you feel about radio today?
What
How do you feel about Atlanta radio today, the records that they're playing?
I gotta say I like it because, you know, we got a lot of stations and we are running music, you know, and that's really a beautiful thing. Do I get tired of a lot of stuff? Yes, I do. Do I listen to radio a lot? No, not a lot. But, you know, I can't appreciate it because I remember when we ain't really had it. You know, we had like 2 or 3 stations, and it was what it was. But now we got a lot of stuff. Man, we on the move.
Tell me how you met Andre and Big Boy. How did y'all meet those guys?
We were Rico worked at a beauty supply store in the middle of East Point, and this girl that worked there with him used to beg him to death to see these 2 guys, Big and Dre. Like, you really got to meet them. They're really talented. They were in school, and you know, she kept asking Reed for about 2 weeks straight, and Reed was just like, all right, tell them to come on. Because from what we heard, they heard a tape that somebody, KP left with somebody else, and they heard it. They were like, who is that? And they organized, so they came look, they wanted to meet us. So they came up to to Rico's job, which was a trip because their style already was different. Like they came up there with bald heads when bald heads wasn't a thing. And I'm looking at them like, okay. And then when they started rapping, they rapped like 30 minutes apiece. I'm like, damn, they rapping long here. Jesus, they ain't stopping nothing. Shit, man. Give me a break, bruh. They kept rapping. But I'm gonna say this, Rico was the one that really was like, oh yeah, oh my God, like just he saw it. He just saw the whole thing, you know what I mean? So we followed, and then we all fell in love with them, and you know, they came over to the dungeon, and we just stayed there, man. We just started working. We all knew that we were going to make it, we just didn't know when. Because the energy and everything was just so strong, and I knew we had so much talent in the family. It's like, something gonna jump, you know what I mean? But we just didn't know when, and we had to fight for it, so I really miss and appreciate those days.
What was it about Players Ball that made y'all choose that to be the record to represent, basically represented the New Atlanta?
Like I said, we listened to...
That was very interesting, seeing that video and seeing how we was looking at it like, damn, them niggas fresh. Like, they got polo on and shit. Like, we didn't know what was going on down here and shit.
Right. I mean, it was just, you know, like I said, when we were getting ready to really work on Outkast, basically listening to everything that was around us and making a decision that, okay, this is South shit, and basically it has to be funky. Like, we started getting more into the funk era of music, because we had a group that we produced before Outkast called PA. Mm-hmm. And that was more, the beats that we were doing like that was more up north, you know what I'm saying? Just rugged and raw and different. But with this album, we knew we had to go and get funky, because like I said, we heard Chronic, we heard all this stuff, and we just like, man, like they killing this, you know what I mean? They bringing music back, so we wanted to bring that back. We wanted to, you know what I'm saying, put the stake down and be like, this is Georgia, bitch, look where we at, you know what I'm saying? So Play the Ball was that thing, and the funny thing is, the beat was actually for, Left Eye had a group, Je ne sais quoi. I think that was the rap group Je ne sais quoi, and it was a record for them. But when Rico heard it, Rico said, man, fuck that. Let's go to Outkast. We got to do a Christmas record. You know, Play the Ball was a Christmas record.
Ain't no chimney in the ghetto, so I won't be hanging my socks on no chimney.
At first, the record was going to be called Socks and Draws.
Oh, yeah? Mm-hmm. So why did they make it? Aside from that line when he was talking about the chimney, I didn't get the Christmas part.
Well, on the hook, at the end, I used to say, because the play goddamn, I ended with Christmas Day, but LA was like, fuck that, we gonna go ahead and put this out. So I changed it to All Day and Day.
Okay.
On Christmas Day, it's All Day and Day, you know what I mean?
All right.
So that was the only part where you got a little more, you know, you hear it's Christmas. So they were saying little shit in the verses about Christmas, but it was really a fucking Christmas record. We were put on the spot by LA. All right, we got one more slide. We need a Christmas record from y'all. We like, a Christmas record? Because first of all, we the only and first rap crew, well, it was other ones there before us, but that basically a rap crew that signs on with a big major R&B label. Nothing but R&B hits. And here we come, you know what I'm saying? So when he said Christmas record to us, we were like, man, is LA trying to do it? Trying to roll it already, you know what I mean? So, but we knew it was a test, so we knew we had to make it funky and make it fun. You know?
Did you have a hand in producing the record that they did with Raekwon?
Skew it. Ray did that beat.
Raekwon did that beat?
No. Ray Murray, Organized Noize. We did the beat.
Okay.
Ray did that beat. But like I said, Raekwon was the one that always was really super cool with us, man. He always been cool with us, always showed us love. So, you know, they wanted him on their record.
That record did so much for them. It was a record store. I'm from Pennsylvania. It was a record store in my neighborhood owned by people from Atlanta. So they had records from down here. People who were stars in Atlanta that, you know,
you didn't know.
You wasn't really hip to. So, you know, we were starting to listen to Outkast, and I used to be telling, you know, people around me, like, this shit hot, you gotta listen to this shit. And they did everything right to support my claim, everything that they wore, their videos, the record on New Jersey Drive, like, it was just like a progression, like,
it was.
Boom, it was like punches.
Yeah.
And then the record with Raekwon, it was like, I told you so.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That was the record to say, you know what I'm saying, who said we can't do like hip hop? Who said we can't do this? You know what I mean? Outkast has always been a group that could just, I've always said this, man, Outkast has done every genre of music in hip hop.
I agree with that.
They did country first with Rosa Parks. That's a country record. That's a whole damn fucking country record. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? Then they did Bombs of a Baghdad, which was really some rock shit.
Rock, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they touched on they were never scared to do everything, and that's what made them so special. And when Dre started doing the whole, you know, outfits and want to look like what the music sounded like, I started, you know, like seeing Parliament. I was like, okay, we on some really like new Parliament shit over here. So I always thought of it that way. You know what I mean? Like, you know, he was such a, man, his mind was just so open and just ready to do different shit, man. Like each album represented what kind of like phase he was in to me. Like Stank On It was a Jimi Hendrix phase, and you know what I mean? Like I gotta say, I'm very happy to been a part of the group that everybody thinks in the world that is just amazing. It is incredible to me.
So whose idea was it to put CeeLo on an Outkast record?
Really, bro, when we did that first album, we just had the door open, you know what I mean? So it kind of happened that way. Like Ray would be in the studio and everybody would be in the booth. I might see Witch Doctor in there, and you know, it's my first time meeting Witch Doctor, or even seeing CeeLo, or whatever it is. And if they verse was right, it stayed.
Yeah. That's kind of what RZA was doing. He'll let 9 niggas record.
Yeah, if you right, you stay.
Right.
That's what it was. They showed out, man. Here, I've always said that Southern Playalistic was basically a compilation album. It really wasn't just an Outkast album. It was a Dungeon Family album because each song you get introduced to everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, ATL was Outkast's really first album to me. You know what I mean? That was their style, it was their thought, their look, how they wanted to do it. Coming, you know, the whole space and time and aliens and all that. You know what I mean? It made sense. But that first album, truthfully, was just everybody vibing, man, and we just giving brothers chances to go in there and see what they got.
Which one of the projects, which one of the albums was your favorite? Which one was the dopest to you?
Of Outkast?
Yeah. I like Southern Playalistic, but then when Aquemini came out, I'm like, damn, this shit's some other shit right here.
Aquemini is definitely the top one because that's the coming out album. That's the album when they just knew what they had, they knew what they wanted, and they gonna kick it in your motherfucking mouth. That's that album. My favorite though, Stank On It.
Why?
Because it was so. It's like I saw Dre, man. I saw it, bro. It's like I looked at him and I saw Jimi Hendrix. When I started hearing the music he was doing, I was like, bro, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I'm telling you, it's funny. Like, Dre didn't like So Fresh So Clean. He didn't like that record at first. He did not want to get on it. He didn't really feel it. And I understood because he was on a whole other thing. He doing Bombs, doing Miss Jackson. You doing all these different sounding shit. And here we come with this soul-ass pimp cool record. Yeah. So he wasn't feeling it at first, and then once we did it and Big got on it, he was like, oh, okay, he got it. But that album, bro, it was like watching George Clinton and Jimi Hendrix and Prince all balled up in one, you know what I mean? Because that kind of thing.
it seemed like a lot of his records be like that. A person might have had a problem with it.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Somebody might have felt some type of way about something, and then boom.
Yeah.
Damn, that one went.
Yeah, that's the record. Like, wow. Like, but I got it because I saw exactly where he was going. Like, when I heard Stank Love and all them records, I was like, ooh, man, this nigga here is on some dark rock, funky shit. Like, it's sick.
It's one of the last questions I'm gonna ask you, since you're an R&B crooner. Is that what you would go by? Are you a producer that you just get busy? I didn't want when you came here. I didn't know if I should have called you an R&B singer, but I'm like, you've been in hip hop the whole time, so I couldn't call him an R&B singer.
A lot of people, it's fuck. I get called a hip hop artist, or I get called an R&B artist. I mean, to me, you know, my first love, truthfully, is funk. So if you're gonna call me something, call me funky.
Okay.
Funk artist, you know what I mean?
Right.
Well, you know, I mean, it's always been that way. I always want to do, you know, everything, man. So, you know, it's whatever. It could be producer, it could be R&B artist, it could be hip hop artist. I don't give a fuck.
Did you catch the Rick James documentary?
I loved it.
I loved it too.
Oh my God.
As soon as you said funk, I went straight to that.
Bro, I've seen it like 3-4 times. I love that Rick James. Man, that shit's so hard. That boy Rick was something else. Straight up.
No doubt.
No doubt.
Speaking of funk, right?
Speaking of funk, bro, like that brother came in and took punk rock and mixed it with funk and made his own thing. If you listen to Can't Touch This, excuse me, Super Freak.
Yeah.
He said Can't Touch This.
Right.
Super Freak. And listen to the chords he playing, that's some straight punk shit. Like that's not like, you know, your regular R&B record, bro.
Right.
They had rock guitars on his record, bro. But anyway, Rick was something else.
Genius.
Genius, bro.
I believe I'm sitting in front of a genius right now.
Oh,
I
thanks,
appreciate
man.
you coming to my
Appreciate
platform. This is legendary. I've been actually a Sleepy Mouth fan for a long time.
Thank you,
Remember when I first seen you and shit, I'm like, you're this cool motherfucker. You was so cool. Motherfucker couldn't tell your age. Motherfucker couldn't tell your age, man. Like, you couldn't.
Yeah.
A person could look at you perform, and you got an idea of maybe how Outkast and them is and shit, and you like, you just couldn't tell your age, man.
Right.
The time was shit.
Thank you, brother.
I appreciate it. Could you hit a note on my platform before we get out of here?
Man,
You still got it?
I can't no right now. That ain't about to come out.
I appreciate you, man. Let me get a drop for Gully TV and I'm good.
Yo, this is Sleepy Brown, man. You are watching Gully TV. You know what it is. Let's go.